Hello, Sheroes. This is our show that features strong women and engages in conversations to empower you. Join me as we start our new season with Unsung Sheroes. My name is Pauline Lopez, and welcome to Shero Talk. Women's choice and control impact a variety of birthing experiences. The kind of birth plan they choose and the process of birthing they choose is in itself a power that only a woman can have. But it's a rare opportunity to have a different option than what we're used to. As of the past decade, water births and other natural birthing methods have been reintroduced to the metro as a form of a woman's expression of choice, which is why it is also important to acknowledge doulas or professional midwives as a shero. Irina Otmakova was introduced into the world of birthing as she is a mother herself. She realized that the coldness of a delivery room did not provide the full experience as a mother must have to fully connect with her child during childbirth.
She's really there to take care of the mother's emotional state, about her comfort, so that she is really at peace and she can enjoy the birthing process.
Right. Hence, she found the illustrious Conscious Birth Manila. Here they offer services from caring for the mother and her baby during prenatal to postpartum care. Her clients include actress and model Max Collins, Amanda Griffin Jacob, and many more. Join me as we find out how Irina and her group of midwives bring their A-game to the concept of gentle birth and how human rights begin at childbirth. Hello, Irina. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
It's such a pleasure to have you here in our first ever Unsung Shero on Shero Talk. So could you tell us a bit about what you do and how you started your journey as a professional doula?
Okay. Well, that's a big question. Professional doula is a person who is knowledgeable about birth, about pregnancy, birth. So it's really coming from a non-medical knowledge, to say so, right? So doula is someone who, in the process of labor, mothers the mother. So it's a person who meets her needs, responds to her requests, helps her through those very intense but very transformational moments of becoming a mother or becoming a mother again. So it started for me really with my own first pregnancy 9 years ago, actually, 9 to 10 years ago, and my own also very transformational birth experience. I opted to have a home birth, and I had an amazing team of 3 midwives who, next to the midwifery roles, also perform the doula roles. It's just really there, holding space, massaging my back in both hands, because I needed it, just guiding me through the whole process, in the water, outside the water, suggesting positions, and really being those like cheerleaders that I don't think I would have made it, through that very, very intense process without that kind of support. This is where I actually learned the term doula, that there is a passion of being that cheerleader of the birthing mother, being that person who can respond not just physiologically but psychologically, because you need to have reaffirmation that everything is fine. It's like millions of mothers have done it before you, so you can do it too, right? So, and that was it, like instant decision. So I'm going to do that, like right there at the moment of my own transformation to become mother first time. And right after, with the baby, and I enrolled in the certification program. It's all online distance, but I had really great support from Childbirth International in the studies. And then I just had to get my hands on the birth and the birthing mothers as quick as possible. So I actually went to a birthing center in Antipolo and lived there for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Just to see as many babies born and then support as many mothers as I could possibly have, and like really get the grip of what birthing, like natural birthing, is all about. something that maybe you don't see much in the hospital setting, but very much plenty in the birthing home. And then, that embraces the philosophy of supporting the mother in the natural process of birth. So that's a short story.
Especially here in the Philippines, it's definitely different. And I find it very inspiring that you were inspired from your own personal experience to pursue this. And so you once said that women carry the memory of the childbirth. So how much is the impact of this as a mother, as a woman, and as a human being?
That also very good question. In my personal experience, again, I don't have but good memories of all childbirth, all three of them. I think it also comes from a conscious decision of maximizing the chances of having a good memory and having a good experience of your own childbirth, right?
We carry the memory of our childbirth through the lifetime. And this is why we want to get the message out that we really have to care what kind of memory women in general, large, will have.
That's personally me. But I also work with a lot of mothers, and obviously in the field, I hear a lot of stories of mothers not being happy with their childbirth experience. And coming to me or other doula or other childbirth educators, very traumatized. I had a healthy pregnancy, everything went well. During the pregnancy comes the birth. I'm not allowed to do this, I'm not allowed to move, I'm not allowed to eat and drink, then I have to lay down, then they have to put me up on this, and then they said push, I didn't feel the push, and then they had to press, and then they had to cut, and then the baby was out. And I'm completely terrified and traumatized, carrying that kind of memory. So it's a very common story, very, very common story. I think statistically speaking, for what I recall reading in the papers and journals, about 1/3 of mothers in the Western countries or Western influenced countries, right, US in particular, are not happy or have some degree of post-traumatic stress disorder. And immediately following the childbirth, which obviously affects the connection with the baby, confidence as a mother from get-go, right? Affects the confidence in breastfeeding, continuing breastfeeding, because your emotional state also impacts your physical state, milk production. So it has really deep ramifications, like how your birth went, so your immediate postpartum to later on in life, and your childbearing years, decision to give birth again or not. So that matters a lot. I always say, if you give a lot of importance to your wedding day and plan it meticulously of how you want it to be, that's the kind of importance you also need to give to your childbirth. And of course, nothing is laid in stone, and nothing is 100% sure. Birth is one of those things where it can be very unpredictable. But maximize the chances of having a happy experience. And if it becomes challenging for one way or another, just take it with grace, right? But maximize your chances.
And I find that really amazing because you're shedding so much light on a topic that is not talked about enough, or the information is not even out there, especially here in the Philippines. So really thank you for that. And I totally agree with you that there's always that conscious effort to decide. Because my sister, she's a new mom, and I would always ask her about her memory of childbirth. So with that being said, I feel like it's such an important thing that they always remember. It's the impact, which you've definitely covered. And now that we're talking about this, how do you think the process of natural birthing has changed in the course of the pandemic? And how will it evolve to affect the changes of the times of the post-pandemic?
On the mainstream side, so you have hospitals, and pre-pandemic, quite a few hospitals had made advances, in embracing general birth practice, opening water birthing suites. More doctors started opening up there are a few champions altogether for water birth, gentle birth. Get it all completely. You don't need to negotiate simple things like having the mom moving around, having the support person nearby, having the mom eat and drink what she wants, pushing in the position that she wants. It's just like all given of a birth for it. We don't have to talk about or fight for it, right? Like it might happen sometimes with the doctor who is just doing it, one way and not any other way.
Yeah.
So those were the wins, and there were quite some in the previous years, and with the pandemic, so everything, as everyone
changed. Yes.
So
Everything evolved.
Companions for a long time, so mothers really have to do it on their own. Moms, the OBGYNs, the champions of gentle birth, kind of trying, but also very constrained by the protocols. So that was for the first pandemic year very much unchanged. For what I know, Makati Med is now reopening its special water birthing suite. So I came back, and in St. Luke's, there's also water birth being practiced for a few months already. So things are happening, getting back to normal, but still restricted. There is a little bit of advance. So that's in the hospital setting. On the other hand, there have been a lot of brave souls, who opted to get out of the hospital setting altogether and give birth outside of the hospital setting, in the environments with more relaxed
environment.
Yeah, so that being a birthing clinic. So there are several around Metro Manila that cater for gentle water birthing and home. So as a doula, I've been mostly busy on the front of the home births. So that has been much more compared to previous years.
Yeah.
So definitely a lot more home birth requests, inquiries, and then of course it's always a very personal choice. It comes from the mother's family's readiness, the awareness, the preparedness, and even the gut feeling. Is that the right thing to do? Which applies for everything else in life, but more so even for the birth. So so that has also been a trend in the years and still is. And hopefully there will be again more friendly environments in the hospitals as it's kind of slowly opening back up. Relax.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that they have that option, which it makes me happy because now women have the option, and just as long as they're ready for it and they're open to it. And for my very last question, so what advice do you have for expectant mothers in this time? And how do you think you can inspire other Sheros to be an advocate of women's rights even during childbirth?
Well, definitely be very inquisitive. This is the time of your life. It's a very special time of your life where very important decisions need to be taken. So from how to carry the pregnancy to how to give birth, what kind of parenthood style to embrace, right? So those are decisions that need to be made. And it's good to question the preconceived ideas and assumptions that you might have, right? And this is pregnancy is really good time to start doing that, being inquisitive and look for more information. And then you feel, and if you feel in hearts of hearts that you want something different than the mainstream has to offer, then go and find it. There are definitely options. Again, being open-minded and go pursue them, ask questions, and pick up the pieces of knowledge in your basket and feel what serves your purpose, what doesn't. But there are options. Explore them, inquire, talk to people, read encouraging birthing stories. So whatever you're seeking, you'll definitely find. Right?
And with that being said, how is women's rights even put importance during childbirth? I feel like that's not even talked about enough.
Again, many different layers. really. Many different layers to this question. So we can enter that topic from the ground. Let's say from public hospital, right? So like it's a completely different picture in terms of statistics. The public hospital actually doing better than private hospitals. They have a much lower percentage of cesarean births because it's public hospital, so they really give you a chance to give birth vaginally. They don't really rush that much. But on the other hand, we really deal there with human rights abuse, like verbal abuse and whatnot. So there is like one situation of women's rights being trampled. It's never 100% one or the other. So and then at a different level, so like a different socioeconomic status, it's also not 100%. So there you have hospital environments, the private hospitals that definitely doing their job, but many mothers are not aware of the rights they have. A lot of mothers feel like they have to submit to the system rather than being a paying client of the system. You actually have the right to demand.
People don't know that they have the option.
Exactly, like you're the paying client, so like you set the rules. But hospital is such an environment that kind of a figure of authority, right? So a lot of mothers feel they have to accept and submit, right? And this is where, again, like that right choice, the right respect of bodily autonomy, bodily integrity, and just that shouldn't be. The mother has to have freedom of movement and choosing position of her choice. So there you have also like not the 100%, right?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Ms. Irina, for sharing so much knowledge. I definitely learned so much. And I mean, in the future, I don't know in how many years, but
Let me know.
I'll definitely do my due diligence and research more. And for your last and final words, what would you like to say to everyone here? You may talk about Conscious Birth Manila and let everyone know about it.
So also a good way to start preparing is actually gathering the knowledge, and I invite everyone who is inquisitive, who is curious, to join my course, childbirth preparation course, called Birthing Gently. It's actually Instagram based. It's very, very accessible. So like even when you're in labor, you can go back to the materials and pick what you really need in the moment. So I run it every 2 months. So the next batch is starting on April 4. And if you are pregnant, somewhere past your first trimester, this is a really good time to join and start learning things that will blow your mind about what it really means to give birth.
Thank you so much, Ms. Irina, for being here on Shero Talk. I definitely will let you know in how many years, but thank you once again.
Hoping for a blessing soon.
I know. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.